we go. If I can get a thumbs up, if you can see the screen. Okay, good. All right, so I am Kayla Sprayberry, and I am the owner, manager, kind of head cat herder at Hub Funding Solutions. And what we are is a commercial finance brokerage. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about us and a little bit about how I wanted to help y'all, either business owners, if you are a business owner, or if you know somebody that's looking to start a business. And then we'll wrap up with a little bit of information on how you can identify people that might need our help, and just a bit of a wrap up. So Hub basics. So I've been in commercial finance since 2013. I've been a direct lender and a broker. Why did I go into brokerage? It's because I didn't like a box. I wanted people to have options. So at Hub, that's a lot of what we do, is we actually come in and help make options for our clients. The way that we do that is we come in, people have a request for us for any type of funding. We take that request and go shop it out. We currently have 197 lenders. We have a core group of those, and we fit the client's profile, their need, to the lender. So we'll go to a set of lenders, have them give us their best offers. We set those side by side, and then the client gets to choose what lending package they want to go with. So instead of being forced into signing, they actually have a choice. So that's a big part of what we want to do, is bring the choice back to business owners. We're owner operated. We have a great team here in the office, and some working remote. Nationwide service. So we do everything from Washington State to Florida and all across the nation. We are paperless, and that ability to be paperless helps us be very, very quick. We close normally in 2 to 10 days. Even on very large projects, they normally don't take more than a month. And I'm talking $20 million projects. So we're able to move much faster than your traditional bank or private lender. We provide working capital, equipment finance, project finance, and refinance. Our range is 25,000 to 100 million, but our sweet spot is really 50,000 to 30 million, and kind of everywhere in between there. So let's talk about you. So let's talk about, you're a business owner, or you know somebody that has a business, wants to start a business, and they need funding, whether they're starting or they're going to be growing their business over time. So step 1 is to know your business. Step 2, know your credit. Step 3, ready your books. Step 4 is document preparation. And stage 5 is connect with your lender. Stage 1, know your business. This is very important now, especially since we are post-COVID. They want to know what is going on with your business. So main things that they would like to ask for is, when were you established? This is very important because time in business, along with credit, helps establish so much of a business's credibility. While a new business may have the best venture in the world, the entity is still new. So please be aware, if you're ever going to start a business or spin off, say you have an existing one and you want to start a new one, talk to a corporate attorney about, can we do a DBA? Do we have to start a new entity? Because every time you set up a new entity, that starts that clock from 0. So it's always best to use existing entities if it works out from a legal, insurance, and everything else perspective. We also want to know, what are your 3 main products or services? This tells us what you're doing and if you have consistency in those products or services. How much is your annual revenue? How much is your monthly revenue? Because when it comes down to it, it's a monthly payment, and we've got to know that it's going to be there. Another important thing to write down is your COVID impact. We actually include a questionnaire with every application that just asks a few basic questions so that we can share your COVID story, whether it was good, bad, or in the middle. We just need to know. We also need to know about ownership structure and experience of ownership and management. So in our world, we're in between a bank and a private lender. We work in that space in between. And to be honest, most of our deals actually have a story. We want to know the story, the good, the bad, the ups, the downs, and what you're going through so that we can use that story to help show how this deal, whether it's working capital equipment or whatever, is going to benefit you and your company. So we want you to tell us the story because the story is everything. Stage 2, know your credit. So there are 2 types of credit that are normally used in finance. You use your business credit, which you'll see second here, which is done through PayNet. If you have never heard of PayNet, it is now owned by Equifax. D&B is what people used to use as the standard, but especially in the alternative lending world, even more in the banking world now, D&B is not being used as much because it can be altered. You can pay your way to a better D&B score. PayNet is actually based on real credit information. So say you have a supplier, say you're a gym and you go to Joe and Joe gets you equipment. If you're making those payment, that is usually actually, what is it called? That is given to PayNet, and PayNet has a score for your business. Now, we work with businesses all the time that are coming out of a private banking situation, and they may not have a PayNet score, or it may not be that great. We can work around that, but know that PayNet is out there and it can track you and you can't change it. So the other thing that we look at is personal credit. Now, one thing that we do differently is we do a soft credit look. We are not doing a hard credit pull. So whenever we're working with someone, it does not damage their credit. We can do one soft credit pull and go out and shop 100 different lenders. We never go to that many, but we can go to multiple lenders and bring multiple offers without beating up someone's credit, which is a really big deal for a small business owner. And that is based on FICO, not Vantage. If you are using Vantage, I suggest going to myfico.com. You can pay a little fee and see all of your scores from all the major bureaus without affecting your credit. So FICO is the main thing that it's based on. And we actually work with a 550 and up with a clean report. And again, myfico.com is very important. Credit is normally based on a few things: character, cash flow, capital, collateral, and conditions. So it's about more than just a credit score, but it does make a difference on the rate that you can ultimately get. We've actually helped several clients, especially with people like Anthony, and having some of that credit help, that have gotten their scores from the 500s up into the 700s over a period of a couple years. And now we're able to get them better rates, but there's always got to be a starting point. So the next part that a lot of people don't really think of: when you're working in a business, you're going, you're grinding, you're getting it done, but you may need help with books. So normally, after we get past $150,000 on anything, they require some type of financials, usually a specific profit and loss, a matching balance sheet, an accounts receivable aging, and accounts payable aging are some of the documents that we look for. And sometimes those can get kind of messy. So if you ever need help, you can always get an outside bookkeeper. I work with a great bookkeeper here that works nationally. She cleans up books and she helps keep things together, because at a certain point you're going to need books. So if they're not ready, I would get them ready, because they are the key. You can even overcome bad credit with great books. Prepare your documents. So a few of the extra documents that you'll need, either on a basis for any size or your larger transactions, is of course a driver's license. Sometimes we can get an ID, but it's very rare to find a lender that will work with someone that is not a US citizen. And the way they document that a lot is with the driver's license. If you don't drive, say you take the train and you're not really a driver, that's fine, as long as you have an ID, because they have to be able to confirm you with an ID. Business bank statements. So we like to get business bank statements from a main operating account. If there's multiple accounts, that's fine, but they're going to be looking for your main operating account bank statements. If you are a sole proprietor, or you know a sole proprietor, good Lord, encourage them to get their own business bank statements. Get a bank account that is just for the business and don't live out of your business bank account. Lenders do not like to see your grocery shopping on the business bank statements. Financial statements, again, tax returns. If you don't have a tax return, it's not the end of the world until you get into some of the larger areas. A business plan or idea of what you want to do. It doesn't always have to be a 20-page business plan. If you can generally tell me, this is what you're doing, this is how it's going to make you money, and this is how it's going to better your business, that's what we want to hear. And the last thing is that you have to make sure that your Secretary of State is current and updated. You cannot get funding in any capacity if your Secretary of State is not current. So the next thing is, finally, after you feel like you have your ducks in a row, you can go connect with a lender. So there's a couple different options. Direct lenders, like banks, can offer lower rates, but require a higher down payment and more collateral. Brokers like us can offer full service financing, quick results, and multiple offers. So you have to figure out what your priority is. Is it speed? Is it your interest rate? Is it your monthly payment, or is it term length and structure? Because fast money isn't cheap, and cheap money isn't necessarily fast. While we tried to put that all together, it can be a little bit difficult at times to make all of that happen. So you can always interview your funding source to find out what fits you best. The hub difference, we want to hear your story. We want to help you overcome obstacles and highlight your strengths. We are forward looking. So while many banks are looking in the past, killing you for 2020, we're not. We want to know what happened, but we want to know what's going on in the future. We do minimum collateral and minimum down payment. Most of our clients do not pay any more than 10% down. Most of them only have to pay their first payment. Multiple funding offers, and no hard credit check and no application fee. And most of our clients do not pay us a penny. We have agreements with our funding sources that we get paid by them, and it's pretty standard across the board. So our goal is to advocate for you to be able to get you the best rate and terms possible. So our three main areas are going to be working capital, equipment finance, and project capital. And we just say a 15-minute call can start it all. We talk to people every day, find out what's going on with them, and we can know in about 15 minutes whether it's something we can take on or not. So whether it's large or small, that's what we want to do, is offer the benefit of being able to talk about it. And this is my information. We are in beautiful Lubbock, Texas, but we work all over the nation. So best way to connect is my cell. I do call, text basically 7 days a week. So instead of trying to get a banker to call you back after 3 weeks, you can call me and I'll answer the phone. So Kayla Sprayberry, Hub Funding Solutions. I'm going to put a link in the chat.
And